studied every one of them. I said, good morning, Mr. Flitcraft. And he said, good morning, girlie. Could you go over there and get my coffee and put it by my plate on the desk, and I take it black. That's about the 5 seconds that went through my head. Now, you got some options. Now remember, impact that Charity Early had on me, entrusted me, helped me get this job, youngest person ever to get it, first person of color to ever be in the whole county's administrative hierarchy, and making more money than I thought I'd ever see in my lifetime back then. So now, people have an impact on you. Means that they've invested in you, they put resources in you, and they want to make sure that you go on to do what's going to uplift other women. That's that 5 seconds that went through my head. See, there's this 5-second rule I have. Don't say what comes to your mind in the first second, because it's usually wrong. So take about 5 seconds and think about what impact that's going to have on the future of the other women who are sitting in this room. So guess what I did? I went and got the coffee. I got it black. I rushed it over to his spot, so when he sat down, it would be right there. Now, in those days, I used my initials. I just had the initial J. But I had the big gold plate like theirs that was in the middle of the table, because Charity Early wanted to make sure that I had some impact on the room. So now, it's time to start the meeting. And so I go to that center spot, right there. All the gentlemen in Charity sitting over there. And I take the gavel and I say, I now call this meeting to order. And I hope everybody's coffee is suitable. Now that was impact. That was impact. And let me just tell you, 1 hour and 18 minutes later, when the 1 hour and 30-minute meeting, there's a point to this, 1 hour and 18 minutes later, in a 1 hour and 30-minute, what does that mean? I was on time. I finished early. See, if you're going to have impact, you got to be on time. You got to take the 5 seconds to think about what impact you're going to make. And at the end of the meeting, I'm standing at the door saying, thank you, I hope you enjoyed the meeting, and here's your booklet, ... Mr. Flitcraft comes over and he apologizes. He said, it was an amazing meeting. You hit all the points. You talked about revenues and finance and money like I've never seen anyone else do. And I owe you an apology. Now, he tried to clean it up by saying, yeah, I mean, you were dressed. And I said, like all the rest of you, because all the men had on black suits back then. And he said, I get the point. I'll leave it alone. I just made a mistake. And I said, well, I hope my presentation had some impact on you about the power of women. And that is a true story. And that story I tell repeatedly because I want you to know eyes are always on you. And it makes a difference in 5 seconds of what can happen in your life. And Mr. Flitcraft went to Dick Flitcraft, that he told me to call him, and we became best friends. I got 5 consulting contracts because of Dick Flitcraft, because of the 5 seconds that I made an impact, not only him, but on that room. So I tell that in rooms like this, because if we talk about social economic barriers, it starts in the first 5 seconds. Think about it in that job interview. Think about what the first thing that you're going to ask, what it should be. Because when you leave, they're going to remember what you said. Education probably is one of the barriers that we have to jump over, the hurdles for where we are today in this country, because education is powerful. And we know so often that the numbers, the disparities with women, because there's not parity in gender, whether it's in education, healthcare, whether it's in housing, there's not parity. But with Accenture, when I'm looking at your 48% within the reach of your goal for gender parity, and when I look at pay equity and what you're doing with